Welcome back, tasters. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Tim and Shane Taste Everything. Today we have an excellent bottle from Cat's Eye Distillery in Bettendorf, Iowa. It's their Obtainium bourbon whiskey finished in honey mead barrels. It's 45.9%, and this is aged 6 years in an oak barrel. Doesn't say how long it was finished for, but this is a Clinton Foods store pick. Shout out to John down there. He does a hell of a job.
Clinton Foods, Wisconsin.
Yep, Wisconsin.
We've mentioned before that we're Wisconsin boys, but we'll mention it again because we're the best state in the union.
That's right. And we definitely know how to drink.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's not beat around the bush.
This stuff is distilled in Wisconsin, right?
Is it really? Oh yeah, right there. Distilled in Wisconsin.
There we go.
I think it's at Willersheim.
Is that all right? Willersheim's fantastic.
Yep.
Even since back in college, man, their wine.
Yeah.
Fantastic stuff.
That's what we've known them for a long time in Wisconsin, but they've gotten into the liquor game.
So they're distilling and sending this stuff down to Iowa.
Yeah, Bettendorf.
Wow.
Not too far, I guess.
Nice.
But...
So you've had plenty of this, clearly.
Oh yeah.
This is be the first time I've tried this.
Okay.
So you're going to get, the opinion of a guy that's drank 3/4 of the bottle by himself.
I've shared a little bit.
And
but...
the opinion of a guy who's having his first taste, though. So I love Willersheim.
Yeah.
But that doesn't translate anything over to their booze.
I'm going to be honest, though. It is tasty.
Okay. All right.
If you're into more sweet bourbons, then this is going to be right up your alley. It's
oh Lord.
Yeah, right.
So again, I'm not. Tim's been doing this longer. He's got the nose, but I'll tell you what the untrained blue collar idiot nose smells. And the first things I smell is honey and apples.
Okay.
And I'm apples, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean that's almost crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like fresh bite into an apple, like that. Honey for sure. I mean, there's no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a sweet, and I almost get like a floral deal.
Okay. Yep. A little floral.
Almost like an apple blossom. It's dude, apple. So this is mead finished.
Mead barrel
it's I've never had it. I've never smelled it. The smell is delicious. It's almost like a cider. I mean, and I understand. I know what mead is.
Right.
But you that comes through.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you get stuff like this that's finished in certain things, especially up the nose. It doesn't come through.
Right.
You can get it in the taste. You're like, oh, I get some of that sherry. Mm-hmm. I can understand that was in a port barrel.
Right.
This smells like apples to me.
Sure.
And that's the first two things I get is apple and honey. A little bit of caramel. Mm-hmm. Dude, if that transfers over to the palate at all, I'm gonna love this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say a word, but it's.
What do you get off of it after having it for a while?
So I come from more of a beer brewing, and a winemaking background. I've been homebrewing for 14 years now. To me, this smells like straight up mead. If you've ever been around like fermenting wine, or anything like that,
the ferment.
Yeah,
I mean that is the smell you get.
It's got a funk. It's got a good funk to it.
Yeah, it is. What's funny is in college I worked at an apple orchard.
Okay.
And we made the cider on the spot.
Oh, right on.
And it is almost like after you get done with the cider, we bottle up and then we'd come back the next day to clean.
Yeah.
Well, the belts and everything smelled like that fermented apple.
Sure.
Dude, that is it.
Makes sense.
That is it. That is wild. Is it more scotchy than bourbon? Is it more, or am I getting is that just because of the fermented maybe?
Yeah, I think it's more the honey and the grain.
Yeah.
Which I can see that. It does have, there are some scotches that you get that have that kind of light biscuit.
Yeah, that's what I call it. I haven't had a ton of scotches, but I get that malty biscuit.
Yeah,
almost.
There's a little bit of what I call like funky malt. It kind of has the smell of like malted wheat.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Try it.
I'm gonna go in. Yeah. Wow.
Because it absolutely transfers, I think.
No, yeah, 100%.
It's only 45.9.
Yeah, so it's only 91.
Yeah,
Dude,
92 proof.
it's got the perfect amount of like the heat.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that, but yeah, the nose transfers directly over to the palate.
Yeah, it really
And
does.
it goes away nice and sweet. It's not dry for me. Like it doesn't dry out. It goes away.
Yep.
It's not a super long finish.
No, I think there's a little bit of dryness there.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not something like where it dries down and you're like, oh, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Is this still something I can find, or not?
They don't have it. They haven't had it at Clinton now for a while. But
I'm gonna keep the rest of this.
So I play music around too. So I have a couple shows out in Iowa this summer, so I might have to swing through there and see if they have it there. Because honestly, it's worth going to get. You're getting bourbon and that graininess too. But like if you've ever gone to a distillery and smelled what like the Angel's Share smells like,
sure,
that kind of black mold that you see on everything.
Yep.
It has that quality in this too.
Yeah.
In the absolute perfect way. Like it balances out the sweetness of the honey with that little bit of funky graininess. I get everything you get on the nose in the palate. You get honey, you get grain.
You get apples.
You get apples. Just a lot of fruit in general. But you also get, there's a little stone fruit in there. But I'm also getting some spiciness on the end, specifically cloves.
Yeah. I'll go with that.
Cloves, big
and it is like, that's the perfect thing to go with the apples.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously cinnamon, nutmeg would be fine, but you get that clove. You absolutely get that on the, and it's at the very end.
Yeah, it is.
That's what like kind of hangs out and dries out too.
Yep.
Dude, I'm in like shock.
It starts that clove kind of starts mid palate, and really like as you get towards the end of the palate, it's almost, you get a little bit of that honey still, but it really comes into a lot of clove.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah, it is. Have a little more if you want, man.
That's I don't. That's the cool thing about bourbon, man. I mean, that's the cool thing is if there's, trying new stuff is great, but trying stuff that's also out of your wheelhouse and maybe stuff that you wouldn't even have thought about, but also get your mindset out of that everything great is from Kentucky.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I know there's craft distilleries everywhere now and they're popping up and all this stuff, but I don't know if I would have been at the liquor store, saw that, and been like, some stuff made in Iowa, distilled in Wisconsin.
The labeling isn't something that jumps out at you.
No, I mean it's very understated.
It honestly kind of looks like you printed it out on your printer.
Right, I think you could,
but I mean, don't be fooled by that at all. It's definitely it's kind of a sleeper.
It is almost unreal. I wish I had the two dudes here that worked with me at that orchard.
Oh yeah,
because they would smell this, and in my head I'm thinking, dude, this smelled like the place I worked at.
That's crazy.
And it is. It's exactly what it is. Smashed up, fermented, almost rotten apples.
Yeah,
but not like stink. It's not at all.
We had a at least 100-year-old apple tree at the house that I grew up in, and you'd walk out there and you'd walk around those apples, and it honestly smelled like apples that had been on the ground.
Yeah, that's tree. Yeah.
It was very sweet, but a little funky.
Yeah,
and the bees would.
It's when you're walking out there late in the fall. The apples are rotted and brown.
Yep.
The wasps and the bees are everywhere. That's that smell.
That's like almost the perfect analogy for this bottle because it's got the honey in there too.
Yeah.
It's just. Yep. It's honestly delicious. Like
you sound like a hippie.
Hey, that's cool.
Absolute hippie, man.
Call me what you will. If you see this stuff, definitely grab it. I can't remember what the price was. It's like around $40. Yep. It's well worth it.
Yep.
Well worth it.
100%. All right. Let's give it the nose.
Yeah. What do you think on the?
I'm gonna push the nostalgia away because I'm giving the nose a 9.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Dude, if you're calling this a bourbon whiskey finished in honey mead barrels, there's nothing else to call this.
Fits the bill.
That's what it is. That's a 9.
Yep. Man, I don't even know. Like, I'm not even a big fan of finished whiskeys in general, but this to me is excellent. It's excellent. I don't even know if I can go anything less than a 9 on it. It's just
No, you can't. I'm going to tell you can't.
Yeah, it honestly it smells like a fall candle.
Yeah, it really. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
That sounds
Like
you
a
know,
like an apple cider candle.
yeah. It sounds corny.
It's yeah, it does, but it's what
That's what it smells like.
yeah, in the best way possible. Like,
Absolutely.
don't get me wrong.
Yeah, you can't go less than a 9. If you have this and you say that the nose is less than a 9, you're wrong. I'm going to tell you, everybody likes what they like,
Yeah.
but you're wrong.
It is just
That's a 9.
the more this opens up, the spicier it gets.
It does.
It's crazy.
The finish is
Apples and cloves.
oh, dude, cloves it now. That
Mhm.
second pull, the apples is there.
Yep.
It comes over from the nose. It's 100% cloves. You're right.
Yeah.
Dude, you're smarter than I give you credit.
I'm not as dumb as I look.
No, not at all. No, you're right, dude. Holy cow.
Yeah.
It dries down as cloves. We're fine with fractions, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
9.25. I like finished stuff, and I especially like finished stuff that tastes like what it's supposed to be
Yeah.
finished like.
And don't think of this as being, if you're a fan of like Jack Daniel's honey or any of like the honey whiskey liqueurs, that's not this.
No.
This is very much whiskey.
Yep.
It definitely tastes like whiskey, but it's just a hell of a lot more complex than any of those liqueurs could ever dream of being.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with my 9 on the palate as well.
Okay. What about the finish?
The same, like it's 9s
I'm
across the
going
board.
9. I'm going 9.
It's
So
so
I
good.
went 9, 9.25, and 9.
Mhm.
So you're talking an average of 9. You're
Mhm.
talking excellent.
Yeah,
Like excellent.
Yep.
If you can find this, pick it up.
yeah, especially
Get another
store-
one and send
store
it to
pick.
me.
Yeah, get a backup and get a backup to your
Oh,
backup
dude,
because
it is awesome.
freaking delicious. And if you're anywhere close to Cat's Eye Distillery in Bettendorf, Iowa,
Yep.
make sure to stop in
Yep.
and tell them we sent you. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Tim and Shane Taste Everything.